The episode opens with Jinwoo joining an S-rank dungeon raid, his first major mission since gaining the system. The raid team is composed of elite hunters, and Jinwoo's presence raises eyebrows due to his low rank. However, it doesn't take long for Jinwoo to prove his worth. As the team faces powerful monsters, Jinwoo's enhanced speed, strength, and strategic thinking set him apart. His ability to analyze the battlefield and adapt to the situation impresses the team, but tensions rise as they realize the dungeon is more dangerous than anticipated. This scene highlights Jinwoo's growth and his growing confidence as a hunter. Meanwhile, the Hunter Association announces the Jeju Island Expedition, a high-stakes mission to clear one of the most dangerous dungeons in the world. The announcement sends shockwaves through the hunter community, as Jeju Island has claimed many lives in the past. This sets up a major arc for future episodes, adding a sense of urgency and anticipation. The scene also introduces new characters and factions within the hunter world, expanding the series' lore and setting the stage for larger conflicts. The highlight of the episode is Jinwoo unlocking the ability to summon shadow soldiers. After defeating a powerful monster in the dungeon, the system grants him the power to raise the dead as loyal servants. Jinwoo's first shadow soldier is a game-changer, marking a significant step in his evolution. The summoning process is visually stunning, with dark energy swirling around Jinwoo as the shadow soldier rises from the ground. This moment is both thrilling and symbolic, as Jinwoo begins to embrace his role as the future Shadow Monarch. The episode also explores Jinwoo's internal struggles and motivations. Despite his growing power, Jinwoo remains grounded and focused on his goals. He reflects on his journey so far, from being the weakest hunter to gaining the system and unlocking new abilities. His determination to protect his family and become stronger is a recurring theme, adding emotional depth to his character. This introspection sets the stage for his continued growth and the challenges ahead. The episode ends on a high note, with Jinwoo preparing for the Jeju Island expedition. His newfound abilities and confidence make him a key player in the upcoming mission, and fans are left eager to see how he will fare against the dangers of Jeju Island. The final scene is filled with tension and anticipation, as Jinwoo stands ready to face whatever comes next. The episode opens with Jinwoo taking on dungeons solo, a bold move that showcases his growing confidence and independence. Using his shadow soldiers, Jinwoo dominates monsters and clears dungeons with ease, leveling up rapidly in the process. The system introduces new, more challenging quests, pushing Jinwoo to test his limits and explore the full potential of his abilities. These solo missions are a turning point for Jinwoo, as he begins to realize just how powerful he has become. The action sequences are fast-paced and visually stunning, with Jinwoo's shadow soldiers playing a key role in his victories. A key moment in the episode is Jinwoo's encounter with Cha Haein, an S-rank hunter, during a dungeon raid. Cha Haein is one of the strongest hunters in the world, and her recognition of Jinwoo's potential adds depth to the hunter community. Their interaction is brief but significant, hinting at a future alliance and adding a layer of intrigue to the story. Cha Haein's curiosity about Jinwoo's abilities foreshadows his rise to prominence and sets the stage for future collaborations. The episode also delves into Jinwoo's internal struggles and motivations. Despite his growing power, Jinwoo remains focused on his goals, protecting his family and becoming the strongest hunter. His determination and resilience are evident as he pushes himself to complete increasingly difficult quests. This introspection adds emotional depth to his character, making his journey relatable and inspiring. The system's role in Jinwoo's growth is also highlighted, as it continues to provide him with new challenges and opportunities to level up. As Jinwoo prepares for the Jeju Island expedition, the stakes are higher than ever. The episode builds tension as Jinwoo reflects on the dangers of the mission and the responsibilities that come with his newfound power. His preparation includes rigorous training and strategic planning, showcasing his dedication and determination. The Jeju Island expedition is a major arc in the series, and this episode sets the stage for the intense battles and high-stakes drama that lie ahead. The episode ends on a high note, with Jinwoo standing ready to face the challenges of Jeju Island. His confidence and strength are at an all-time high, and fans are left eager to see how he will fare against the dangers of the expedition. The final scene is filled with anticipation, as Jinwoo's journey continues to escalate. The episode begins with Sung Jinwoo visiting his mother, Park Kyung-hae, who remains in a coma due to the eternal sleep disease. Motivated by a desire to cure her, Jinwoo realizes he must become stronger before attempting to acquire the elixir of life from the perilous demon castle. The following day, Jinwoo meets Yoo Jin-Ho at Cafe Peen. Jin-Ho proposes that they undertake 19 C-rank dungeon raids together to pave the way for establishing a new guild. Jinwoo agrees but stipulates that only the two of them should enter the gates. Concerned about the requirement of a minimum of 8 hunters for such raids, Jin-Ho is hesitant. However, Jinwoo suggests hiring additional hunters merely to meet the quota, similar to previous practices they've encountered. Jin-Ho, eager to impress his father by ensuring 0 casualties, agrees to this plan. Elsewhere, Cha Hae-in, after a training session, is approached by Yoo Byung-gil from Eugene Construction. He offers her the position of guild master in their new venture, the Eugene Guild. Hae-in is intrigued but non-committal, indicating the complexities of guild politics and individual ambitions within the hunter community. In a separate scene, Yoo Jin-Ho's father, Yoo Myung-han, reflects on the transformative impact of dungeons over the past decade. He discusses the dominance of the 5 major guilds in dungeon-related profits and emphasizes the necessity of forming their own guild to remain competitive. His vision includes having his elder son, Yoo Jin-sung, serve as vice guild master under an S-rank hunter, highlighting the strategic planning behind guild formations. Meanwhile, Jinwoo attempts to exceed his daily quest requirements, hoping for additional rewards. However, the system doesn't acknowledge his extra efforts, leaving him frustrated. His attempt to obtain valuable items results only in a used bingo card, underscoring the limitations and unpredictability of the system. While contemplating ways to level up efficiently, Jinwoo receives an urgent summons from the Hunters Association for a D-rank dungeon raid. Although it's below his current capabilities, he accepts, viewing it as an opportunity to gain experience. At his Kumdo dojo, Song Cheol receives the same emergency summons. Despite his age and the loss of an arm, he remains committed to contributing to society through hunting, reflecting the dedication of veteran hunters. Baek Yun-ho, Guild Master of the White Tiger Guild, meets with Choi Jong-in, Guild Master of the Hunters Guild. They discuss Eugene Construction's plans to establish a new guild, recognizing the potential threat of poaching their hunters. The conversation also touches upon the failed Jeju Island raid, highlighting the challenges and losses faced by guilds in high-stakes operations. Lee Joo-hee engages in a tense conversation with her mother, who urges her to quit hunting. Frustrated by her mother's control, Joo-hee reflects on Jinwoo's relentless pursuit of strength and resolves to persevere in her own path as a hunter. As Jinwoo arrives for the D-rank raid, he unexpectedly reunites with fellow survivors from the Double Dungeon incident, Song Cheol, Kim Sang-shik, Kang Jiango, and Lee Joo-hee. The atmosphere is tense, with some hunters avoiding eye contact due to past guilt, while Joo-hee expresses genuine joy at seeing Jinwoo again. The raid team is joined by 3 C-rank hunters in handcuffs, introduced as substitute hunters. These convicted criminals participate in raids to reduce their prison sentences. Overseeing them is Kang Tae-shik, a B-rank hunter from the Hunters Association, responsible for ensuring their compliance during the mission. The episode picks up inside the D-rank dungeon, where Sung Jinwoo and his raid party, including Song Cheol, Kim Sang-shik, Kang Jiango, Lee Joo-hee, and 3 convicted substitute hunters under the supervision of B-rank hunter Kang Tae-shik, begin their exploration. While the dungeon initially seems straightforward, tension lingers due to the presence of the criminals and the unresolved history between Jinwoo and some of his teammates from the Double Dungeon incident. As the group ventures deeper, they encounter a horde of lizard men. Despite being categorized as a D-rank dungeon, the sheer number of enemies makes the battle difficult for the team. The 3 substitute hunters take an aggressive approach, using their combat experience to overpower the creatures. However, Jinwoo, much stronger than anyone realizes, effortlessly dispatches lizard men without drawing attention to his true abilities. During the fight, Kim Sang-shik is injured, reinforcing his belief that he isn't suited for dungeon raids anymore. He recalls his past encounter with Jinwoo, when he left him behind in the double dungeon, and guilt washes over him. Jinwoo, unfazed by the old betrayal, casually offers Sang-shik a health potion, shocking the group with how quickly his wounds heal. While some suspect that Jinwoo is more powerful than he lets on, they refrain from questioning him directly. As they press forward, the group reaches a large chamber, seemingly the boss room. The substitute hunters, confident in their strength, rush ahead, eager to finish the battle quickly. However, instead of a single boss monster, a much larger and more organized group of lizard men awaits them. The battle turns chaotic as the criminals realize they underestimated the enemy's numbers and coordination. Jinwoo steps in, swiftly eliminating multiple monsters with precise, effortless attacks. His overwhelming strength draws the attention of the party, especially Kang Tae-shik, who begins to suspect that Jinwoo has been hiding his true capabilities. The battle concludes with Jinwoo standing victorious, while the rest of the party is left in awe. With the dungeon seemingly cleared, the team prepares to leave. However, Kang Tae-shik suddenly reveals his true intentions. He turns on the group, stating that he cannot allow any witnesses to leave alive. As a B-rank hunter, he believes himself to be far superior to anyone present. He explains that the substitute hunters were merely pawns in his scheme, as he frequently uses dungeon raids as an opportunity to kill without repercussions. The team, horrified, realizes they are trapped with a dangerous enemy. Tae-shik moves quickly, striking down one of the remaining criminals before they can react. He then sets his sights on Jinwoo, suspecting he is the only real threat in the room. However, rather than panic, Jinwoo calmly steps forward, his expression unreadable. The episode ends with a tense stare-down between Kang Tae-shik and Sung Jinwoo, setting up an intense battle that will reveal just how much Jinwoo has truly grown. The episode picks up where the previous one left off, with B-rank hunter Kang Tae-shik revealing his true intentions. He coldly declares that he cannot let anyone leave the dungeon alive, having used the substitute hunters as disposable pawns to cover up his murders. His real target now is Sung Jinwoo, who has been hiding his strength throughout the raid. Tae-shik activates his ability, Shadow Step, instantly closing the distance between himself and Jinwoo. However, to his shock, Jinwoo effortlessly dodges his attacks, moving with speed and precision that far surpasses what a supposed E-rank hunter should be capable of. Tae-shik, initially amused, quickly realizes that he is severely outmatched. The other hunters watch in horror as the fight unfolds. Song Chio, Kim Sang-shik, and the rest of the raid party are frozen in fear, knowing that a B-rank hunter like Tae-shik should be unbeatable for them. Yet, Jinwoo remains calm, dodging every attack with ease. His counterattacks are devastating, every move is precise, every strike landing with overwhelming force. As the battle escalates, Jinwoo finally goes on the offensive. He activates his skill, Dash, closing the gap between them instantly. Tae-shik barely reacts before Jinwoo delivers a brutal punch, sending him crashing into a dungeon wall. Stunned and wounded, Tae-shik refuses to believe what he's seeing. He demands to know how Jinwoo, an E-rank, is doing this. Ignoring the question, Jinwoo activates his new skill, Vital Strike, landing a devastating blow that causes Tae-shik to stagger. Desperate, Tae-shik unleashes his ultimate ability, targeting Jinwoo with a flurry of high-speed attacks. But Jinwoo, completely unfazed, counters with overwhelming force. In a final attempt to turn the tide, Tae-shik uses his stealth ability to vanish. Jinwoo, however, remains unbothered. He uses his heightened senses to track Tae-shik's movements and, in an instant, intercepts him mid-attack. With one final, powerful slash, Jinwoo defeats Tae-shik, leaving the once-feared B-rank hunter motionless on the ground. The rest of the party watches in stunned silence, realizing that Jinwoo is far more powerful than they ever imagined. With Tae-shik defeated, Jinwoo notices a notification from the system. He receives a new ability, Memory Extraction, which allows him to retrieve memories from the deceased. Curious, he uses it on Tae-shik, uncovering glimpses of his past murders. he now understands the extent of Taeshik's crimes and why he was so eager to eliminate witnesses. As the remaining hunters collect themselves, Song Chio, still shaken, approaches Jinwoo. Though he doesn't fully understand Jinwoo's power, he thanks him for saving them. Kim Sang-shik, overwhelmed with relief and guilt, acknowledges that Jinwoo is no longer the weakling he once abandoned in the double dungeon. After reporting the incident, Jinwoo receives a notification from the system, marking his next major task, the Demon Castle. The episode begins with Sung Jinwoo preparing for his next challenge, the Demon Castle, a special high-level dungeon assigned by the system. After defeating Kang Taeshik, Jinwoo realizes that his rapid growth is leading him toward even greater challenges, and he must push his limits further. Determined to become stronger, he uses the key to enter the Demon Castle, a mysterious and dangerous instance dungeon separate from reality. As soon as he steps inside, Jinwoo is met with an overwhelming atmosphere. The sky is dark, the air thick with ominous energy, and towering demonic structures loom in the distance. The system informs him that the dungeon is divided into multiple floors, with progressively stronger enemies as he ascends. His first task is to eliminate the monsters that reside within. The moment he advances, a group of lesser demons ambushes him. Unlike the creatures he's fought before, these demons are fast, intelligent, and ruthless. However, Jinwoo is now far beyond his previous self. He easily outmaneuvers them, using his improved agility and strength to strike with precision. With his dagger skills and enhanced abilities, he slashes through the demons, cutting them down one by one. After clearing the initial wave, Jinwoo continues deeper into the castle. As he explores, he discovers that the demons drop valuable items and materials, including demon essence, which he can collect for future use. The system reveals that these drops can be traded for rare rewards, motivating Jinwoo to push further. Eventually, he reaches the first mini-boss, a high orc champion guarding the entrance to the next floor. Unlike the previous enemies, this one is heavily armored and wields a massive weapon. It roars and charges at Jinwoo, displaying brute strength far beyond the lesser demons. The battle is intense. Jinwoo has to rely on his agility to evade devastating blows while looking for an opening. Realizing that a frontal attack won't work, he activates dash to speed around the monster, striking at its weak points. He delivers a series of precise attacks, using Vital Strike to deal massive damage. The high orc staggers but refuses to fall. It counters with a powerful swing, forcing Jinwoo to block with his dagger, causing a shockwave of force. Seeing that the fight is dragging on, Jinwoo decides to end it quickly. He activates his new ability, Intimidation, which momentarily stuns the orc champion, making it hesitate. Taking advantage of the opening, he leaps forward and delivers a finishing blow, slicing through its armor and bringing the monster down. With the high orc defeated, Jinwoo receives a notification. He has cleared the first floor and can now proceed upward. However, he knows that the challenges will only get tougher from here. Looking ahead, he prepares himself for the battles to come, determined to conquer the Demon Castle and grow even stronger. The episode ends with Jinwoo standing at the base of a massive staircase leading to the next level, his eyes filled with resolve as he takes his next step into the unknown. Though victorious, he barely has a moment to rest before the system activates the next phase of his job change quest. Suddenly, more knights appear. This time, an entire army of heavily armored enemies begins spawning around him. Unlike before, he isn't facing just one overwhelming foe, he's up against a relentless wave of deadly knights. Jinwoo, exhausted from his battle with the Blood Red Knight, knows he can't afford to let his guard down. As the knights charge at him from all directions, he quickly assesses the situation. Each one is powerful on its own, but together, they form an organized force capable of overwhelming even a high-ranking hunter. Determined to survive, Jinwoo pushes past his fatigue and fights back. He relies on his speed and reflexes, dodging their attacks while striking at their weak points. He uses Dagger Rush to land rapid hits and Vital Strike to deal critical damage, but the sheer number of enemies makes it difficult to keep up. Every time he cuts one down, another takes its place. As the battle drags on, his stamina starts to dwindle, and the pressure of facing an endless wave of opponents takes a toll on him. The weight of his past as the weakest hunter of all mankind creeps into his mind. For a brief moment, he sees a vision, his former self, weak and powerless, barely surviving dungeon raids. This haunting memory threatens to shake his resolve, but Jinwoo refuses to be held back by his past any longer. Summoning his remaining strength, he embraces the battle head-on. He stops simply defending himself and starts going on the offensive. He analyzes the knight's attack patterns, dodging their swings with perfect precision and countering with deadly accuracy. His movements become sharper, his attacks more efficient. Each time he slays an enemy, the system rewards him with experience, and he feels himself growing stronger mid-battle. The system continues testing him, sending wave after wave of enemies. But Jinwoo's indomitable will keeps him standing. Just when it seems like he might collapse, he levels up once again, restoring his strength. Fueled by this newfound power, he cuts through the remaining knights with brutal efficiency. After what feels like an eternity, the battle finally ends. Jinwoo, now standing alone in a field of fallen enemies, breathes heavily, his body covered in sweat and injuries. But as he looks around at the destruction he caused, he realizes something: he did it. Then, the system delivers the final notification: job change quest complete. At that moment, an eerie darkness engulfs the battlefield. The fallen knights' bodies begin to shift as shadows rise from them. The system grants him his ultimate reward, the ability to extract shadows from the dead. With anticipation, Jinwoo looks at the fallen knights before him and utters a single, game-changing word: arise.